Does anyone know what started this?
Not a clue. But honestly, all you need to know is that this place will eat you alive if you aren't careful.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to start last week, and I got a call to stay away. I wish I'd come here sooner.
How's it going, my fellow collectors? Back again with another review video, guys. Not Hot Toys this time. This time, it is from Damtoys. It is the Resident Evil 2 Remake Leon S. Kennedy figure. This figure was licensed by Capcom and Knott's. I'm sure the majority of you already know who this is. He needs no introduction. So we're going to go ahead and get this review going, with the first category, of course, being the source information. And I gotta tell you guys, for a remake, this video game was awesome. You can't really say that about every remake. Really good remakes are far and few between. But this one was definitely a masterpiece. It's a very scary game. Of course, you can't have Resident Evil without having scary. But yeah, they stayed true to the original, the 1998 version. They even improved on certain things as well. Like the outfits for all the characters, very good. I think it still takes place in 1998, the storyline. And for it to be updated with all the outfits and the look of the monsters as well, it was very, very good. Good recreation of everything. I can't say the same thing about Resident Evil 3. They really screwed up on a lot of things on that game. But we're not here to talk about Part 3 today. I can't really find any faults with the remakes, so I think I'm going to have to give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, there is a few things here and there, little nitpicks, but nothing major that'll make me knock off points. So to talk you guys through this pose, this is Leon's standard aiming down sights pose when he's about to pump a zombie full of lead. He uses this pose a lot throughout the video game. As a matter of fact, I want to try something. While we're on the subject of the video game, I want to recreate something here. So where would it be? I think it would be somewhere kind of like this. So if he's aiming down sights, that's what he would be looking at. Shout out to Andy from Keyboard Warriors. He was curious to see how many people would recreate this pose. So here you go. This is pretty much how you would always see Leon when you're playing through the game. From the back, third person view. And when he's aiming, it's like this. Alright, enough of that. That takes care of the source information. Now we're going to move on to the packaging. Okay, moving on to the category of packaging. I gotta tell you guys, Damtoys did a really, really good job with the packaging. Even though most of these images are from the posters and promotions of the video game, they still did good. Like this front image is pretty much a poster shot from the game, where you see Leon standing in the rain and he's pretty much back to back with Claire, who's on this side, facing the other way. They did a really good job of capturing that. And on the bottom you get the logo. And on the bottom right you get the Damtoys logo, and on the bottom left you get the Capcom and Knott's logo. And on one side it's just a continuation of the image on the front. And on the other side you get the Resident Evil 2 logo again. And on the bottom it says 1/6 scale collectible figure, and on the top it says Leon S. Kennedy. His name is also on the top right corner of the front of the box. And on the top you get the Resident Evil 2 logo again. And on the bottom you get the Resident Evil 2 logo again with a background image of Raccoon City, and then a label that's in a different language and I can't read it. And then on the back you get your warnings and choking hazards and stuff that nobody reads. And you also get a notice that this is a collectible figure, not for kids. And on the very bottom you get contact information for Knott's and the barcode And you get a seal of approval sticker showing that this is an officially licensed Capcom product. And then once again, you get the Knott's, Capcom, and Damtoys logo. So once we open this box, you would actually open it up from the top, but this box has a door that is magnetically closed, and once you open it up, it reveals the window showing the figure and all of its accessories. On the bottom it says 1/6 scale collectible figure, and on the inside of the door it shows the cast and crew responsible for making this figure. And in the background you get an image of Raccoon City again. So really nice, I really like it. I've always favored these types of boxes with display windows, and it's even more awesome when they include a door that opens up to reveal the figure. I've always preferred that over a sleeve that goes over the box. I don't like sleeves very much because they have a tendency to scratch the box. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Real good. It's a lot better than a lot of Hot Toys boxes. Alright, so we'll continue on with the next category. Alright, so we've reached the category of likeness, and I gotta tell you guys, the head sculpt is perfect. They got all the proportions right and the shapes, 100% accuracy to the character model in the game. My only problem is the paintwork could have been better. The paint apps are not quite the same level as Hot Toys, but I'm not going to knock on it too much because it did come out really good. When I saw the prototype images of this figure, it looked good, but it felt like something was missing. But having this figure in hand now, the head sculpt turned out better than the prototype. So I'm definitely going to give Damtoys props. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, only because the paint applications could have been better. But everything else is great. The sculpt, the proportions of the face, the eyes, the shape of the jaw, it's all 100% accuracy. So to talk you guys through this pose, I know you guys all recognize it. Every time Leon enters a dark place, he breaks out his flashlight. And this pose reminds me a lot of when you go through a door down a hallway or a room or whatever. You're always weary that there's a licker around, so you're always walking very slowly. So that's kind of my inspiration for this pose. You know, Leon's walking because that's exactly what he's thinking. There might be a licker lurking nearby. Alright, so that takes care of the likeness category, and now we're going to move on to the next category. Okay, now we've reached the category of outfit. And this might be a long category, I don't know guys. Because Leon comes with tons of stuff on his person already, without accessories or any of the other stuff. I'll just go down it. First, right out of the packaging, there's already some assembly required to complete the full look, because when you pull him out of the box, he doesn't have his utility belt, he doesn't have his radio, he doesn't have the gun holster. The handcuffs that you see there, you have to attach those to the belt. You also have to attach the knife sheath to the belt. So yeah, there's a lot. Depending on how you look at it, I guess. It might be no big deal for you guys, but for me, it was a bit of a pain. It took me a while to get all this assembled. The first problem I had was the belt here. I don't know what material it's made of. It's not pleather, but it's like a soft, rubbery type material. When you touch the edges of the belt, like on the top and the bottom, you can feel the glue residue. It's basically 2-ply. There's 2 sides to it. And they're just basically glued together. And I don't know how I feel about that. It just makes me feel like it's not going to hold together over time. It's just going to start to peel. I'm afraid that the glue's going to wear off and it's just going to start to come apart, the first layer from the second layer. So yeah, that's not a good sign. That's the first problem I had. The second problem I had was putting everything on the figure. The knife sheath was probably the biggest problem I had. I just had so much trouble trying to put it on the belt. The main reason was because it kept getting stuck on the rough part of the Velcro. Since the straps of the sheath are made of a cloth material, so that kept getting hooked to the rough side of the Velcro on the belt. But I just kept trying and trying until finally I got it on. And it does look good when it's on it. So yeah, that's my biggest problem is the utility belt. The gun holster wasn't so tough to put on. These straps that you see here, you pretty much just fasten those around his leg. Just make sure that you undo these clips, just like you would a regular life-size harness that uses these types of clips. Just undo the clips, wrap it around his leg, and clip it back. That's all there is to it, really. You don't have to slide it up his leg. That would probably be harder to do, because you gotta get it around the knee pad. So I'd think it's just be easier just to undo the clips and reattach them around the leg. It's a lot easier. You'd be saving yourself a lot of pain. And by the way, all these straps are really nice. They're made of a nice cloth material. All of these straps, like these, and the ones that go around his elbow pads and knee pads, and the knife sheath as well, they're all made of this cloth material and it's elastic. So I really like it, that the fact that they made it of that type of material. So you don't have to worry about it being too tight or too loose. It's very form-fitting to the body. And when he comes out of the package, he's already wearing his bulletproof vest, so you don't have to worry about putting that on him. But yeah, it all looks really good. I'd say that it looks 100% accurate to how he looks in the game. Also, the patches that he has on his shoulders are really nice. The only concern I have is that they're held onto the shoulders with glue. They're not sewn on to the shirt. So if you leave him in certain poses with his arms raised or something like that, if he gets too much stress, I'm just afraid that the patch might start falling off the shoulder. So just be very careful with that. These handcuffs look like they're die-cast metal, but they're not. They're plastic, just painted with a metallic finish. There is some weathering on the knee pads and the elbow pads. You can see little scratches on them, so that looks cool. Now, his pants, they're supposed to go a little bit over his boots, because that's how he looked like in-game. That's how he wore them. This is pretty much how it comes right out of the package, with his pants tucked into his boots. And I gotta say that I like this look a little bit better than the game. So I think I'm just gonna keep him in this look, where his pants are tucked into his boots. Also, at the end of the pants, the cuff, they have that scrunchy material that tightens around his leg anyway. So I don't know how good that would look outside of the boots. Probably not very good. But if you guys want to try that out, you're welcome to. And speaking of the boots, they're really nice, but they're all one piece. There's no cut at the ankle. And it kind of limits the ankle articulation, but not too bad. The ankles are pretty tight, so you can pretty much get them to stand without a base. And they look really good too. There's some weathering on it. Now, the vest, you can take it off, but I don't know why you would really want to. Unless you're going to do like some kind of customization. It's pretty much just held on by Velcro. You can see the straps. So yeah, you can take it off if you want, but I'm not going to. But it looks really good. It's got the logos of the RPD. So yeah, like I said, it looks good. He's also got his undershirt, which is pretty accurate to the game. And I think that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything. So it's pretty good, and I think it's 100% accurate to how he looked in the game. I'm gonna have to knock it down 1 point though because of the belt. I'm very worried about that. That over time it may start to come apart and unglue itself. So for the category of the outfit, it's gonna have to get a 9 out of 10. If it wasn't for that belt, it would have gotten a perfect 10 out of 10. But as it stands, that's where we are. And as I talk you guys through this pose, it's a pretty common pose for Leon as well. If you're trying to conserve your ammo, you'd be swiping a lot of zombies. And these knives are not very durable. Alright guys, so that takes care of that category. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so now we've made it to the category of articulation, and as usual, we'll just start from top to bottom. So for the head, it's a ball and socket joint. And in the neck area, just below the chin, it's pretty much full articulation that you get. So, you can pivot from left to right, full rotation, 360 degrees around, and looks up and down decently. The bottom of the neck area close to the chest, it doesn't really have much articulation, if any at all. So that's going to kind of limit your head articulation. And the shoulders, he's got decent shoulder shrug. Full rotation of the arms. Of course, you're not going to be able to do a full 360 because of the sleeve of the shirt. As for the butterfly joints, they're not the best in the world because you can't get his arms to come together. Say that you want to get him to be in a pose where he's aiming his gun down sights. It's not the best thing. You can't get him to do it very well. He'll do it, but he doesn't do it very well. There's other figures that do it much better. So yeah, the butterfly articulation is not that great. Now, I can't tell if he has an ab crunch simply because of the bulletproof vest. I can't tell if he's crunching or not. But I do know that he has waist articulation. So you can get him to crunch forward and backward using that and side to side. I don't know if he does a full 360 degrees. I haven't tried that. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if he has ab crunch or not. And the leg articulation overall is pretty good. So starting from the crotch to thigh area, that's very good. You can get him to kick forward close to 90 degrees. He can kick outward pretty good as well. He can probably do the full splits, but he gets hindered from the pants. Just be careful with the pants, you don't want to rip those. As for the knees, I'm gonna say that they're double bend, but I'm kind of scared to bend them the full range because of the knee pads. I don't know if that'll damage the straps or not, so I'm kind of scared to do it. But moving down from there to the ankles, as I said before, they're pretty good. The ankles are nice and tight. You can get them to stand up without a base. So a full 360 degree rotation. You can bend up decent and down decent, and slight pivot from side to side. He doesn't have full articulation because, as I said before, he doesn't have a boot cut. It would have been better with the boot cut, but, it's not bad. I'm just glad that they're nice and firm, so you can get them to stand good with no problems. As for kicking backward from the hip to thigh area, it's average. Same as the majority of any 1/6 scale figure. He can slightly kick backward. As for the elbows, they're a double bend, so you can get pretty good range out of that. And the wrist pegs, I'm going to have to say that they're top notch. I'd even go so far as to say they're probably even better than Hot Toys. Simply because they give us this extra long peg. So they're really durable and they don't pop out easy, which is good. I like that. And if you're worried that they'll break because of how long they are, Damtoys provides us with an extra pair. There's something I forgot to mention on the outfits section. Damtoys is very popular. They're well known when it comes to military outfits and SWAT outfits, such as this outfit. This would qualify as a police SWAT outfit. So when Damtoys announced that they were making Leon, I had no doubt that the outfit would be top notch. Because Damtoys are pretty much masters of these types of outfits. Military style and SWAT. So I never had any doubts that this outfit would turn out good, which it did. It's very good. But, you know, like I said before, my only issue was the belt. But anyway, getting back to the articulation. Pretty good overall. I think I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Only because the butterfly joints, I feel like those could have been a little bit better. But other than that, I think everything else is awesome. So to talk you guys through this pose, it's another common pose. I think every player that did the Leon campaign, they'd be running through the levels, especially speedrunners. That's where I got my inspiration from. So in this pose, he's probably on his way to battle a boss. That's why he's got his Lightning Hawk Magnum at the ready. Alright, so that takes care of that category. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so now we've made it to the category of accessories. Now, you guys might want to have a seat or lay down and grab a snack or two, because this might take a while. So we're going to start off with what Leon has on him right now. So first, he's got the handcuffs, which I already told you guys about. They are removable from the pouch, but they don't function. They can't open or close. They're not metal, they're plastic, but painted in a metallic finish. And he's also got his radio, which is in his pouch, and the speaker that goes over his shoulder. You have to attach that to his shoulder when it comes out of the package. And he's wielding right now the W870 shotgun. That's what it's known as in the game. But in actuality, it's a Remington 870 pump action shotgun. This is the fully upgraded version, because once you first get it in the game, it's actually this shotgun. And this is also a Remington 870, but it's not fully upgraded. I'm glad that it comes with both versions of this shotgun. You know, Damtoys didn't need to do that. They could have just simply gave us one and said, there you go, and just be done with it. But they were generous enough to include both shotguns, and that's awesome. And as for the articulation, take note, Hot Toys. The pump does move, and as it moves, you can see the chamber opening. And that is something that Hot Toys has never done before. So yeah, Hot Toys, you could learn a thing or two from Damtoys. And while we're on the subject of the guns, we might as well just go through all of them. We get his Matilda handgun. It's pretty cool. You can see the engraving of the Matilda name on the gun grip. And it's also on the barrel on the other side. And in actuality, the designation of this gun is a Heckler & Koch VP70M. And it has all the normal articulation. You could slide the slide backwards and you can remove the magazine. And what's awesome about this gun is that they included the upgradable parts, which are here. And I'm going to show you guys how to install all the upgrade parts. Okay, so first we have the gun here. And the first thing we're going to install is the clip, or the magazine. So what you have to do is first remove the normal magazine, and that's pretty simple. It's just the same as any Hot Toys gun. You just take the clip out, the magazine. Simple as that. Just take it out. And then we're going to install the large magazine. And it just goes in like so. So there you go. So that would increase your ammo capacity. And then now we're gonna install the muzzle brake. So we're gonna put, all you have to do is, see that little peg there? You just have to stick that into the barrel, and it's as simple as that. There you go. And there it is. This would lessen the recoil in the game, because as the gun discharges, the gas would expel from these ports here. And finally, we're going to install the stock. So it's pretty simple. Also, all you have to do is, if you see these grooves here on the back of the gun, you just have to match those up, and you would put them in from the bottom going upward. Don't do it from the top going downward. It'll always be from the bottom going upward. So just stick it in. And it's a shame because this figure doesn't come with any instructions, so it kind of sucks that you have to figure this all out on your own, but that's why I'm here, to help you guys. So come on. This is my first time trying this, so bear with me, guys. Okay. I was going upside down, so it would be this way. So, and just slide it in. It kind of took some force, but I got it in. Just be careful not to break the pegs. I was trying to be gentle, but it wasn't working. It wasn't going in, so I had to use a little bit of force. But there you go, guys. That's the fully upgraded Matilda handgun. And now we're going to move on to the rest of the accessories. One thing I forgot to mention about the upgraded Matilda. What the stock helps you with is that it gives you the ability to use 3-round bursts instead of just single fire. And as you can see right here, and it moves. I didn't even know it does that. That's cool. So yeah, you can switch it from single fire to 3-round bursts. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so moving on, we get the LE5, which is in actuality a Heckler & Koch MP5A3 submachine gun with optic sights. And this gun isn't available in your first playthrough. You have to unlock it. And it has all your typical articulation. The stock can extend, and you can remove the magazine, and you can also remove the optic sights. You can also move the dial from being short bursts to full auto. But that's about it. There's no other articulation other than that. I thought that this part here would slide back and forth, but it doesn't. With the Hot Toys guns, you would be able to do that, but here you can't, in this case. Kind of a disappointment, but no biggie. Next, we have the M19, which in actuality is a M1911A1 45 caliber handgun. It has all your typical articulation as well. You can slide the slide backwards. I can't do it here because it seems to be pretty tight, but I'm pretty sure you can do it. And also the magazine can be removed. Next we have the Lightning Hawk Magnum, which in actuality is a Desert Eagle Mark 19. Now, this gun doesn't actually come with the figure, you have to get it separately. And again, you get all the typical articulation from the gun. I can't move this slide either, but trust me when I say that you can. You can slide it back. And also you can remove the magazine. So like I said before, this gun doesn't come with the figure, you have to get this separately. That's the way Damtoys did it. I don't know why, but they did. If you ask me, this gun should have come with the figure. They have 3 versions of this gun. They have this silver version, which I have in my hand. And they have a gunmetal black version. And they also have another silver version, but it has all wooden grips. Pretty much a recreation of the 1998 original Magnum handgun. Now, originally when the remake first came out, the Lightning Hawk was a gunmetal black finish. And after they released a patch for the game, they turned the gun into a silver color. And it's really accurate to the game. You can even see the engravings on it. So you can see it says Israel Weapon Industries Ltd. Made in Israel. And then you got the serial number right above the gun grip. So really nice. It's really accurate to the game. But the only problem is that the gun grip doesn't actually look like this. It is this color and everything. It's got this wooden section around the black section. But the black section doesn't actually have this symbol. It's actually supposed to have a V. Like a sideways V. Or stripes or whatever you want to call them. I wish it would have looked like that. That would have been cool. But sadly, it does not come looking like that. Another reason why I got this gun instead of the black finish gun is because if you have the Hot Toys Deadpool figure, he comes with gunmetal black Desert Eagles. 2 of them. So if I want Leon holding a black Desert Eagle, I could always just give him one of Deadpool's guns. Now here's another gun that this figure doesn't come with. This is the fully upgraded Lightning Hawk. And this one's easier to slide back to slide. You can see the bullet there. The other gun can do that, it's just I was having trouble with it. But yeah, the slide can slide back and the magazine can come out. And you can also remove the dot sight if you want. And you could also put it on the short barreled Desert Eagle. But as I said before, you have to get both of these guns separately. They come in a single pack. And that's a real shame. The figure should have definitely come with these. But anyway, the long-barreled Desert Eagle has the same problem with the gun grip. It has the wrong symbol. It doesn't have the sideways V on it. But anyway, moving on. What else we got? Let's move on to the anti-tank rocket, which in actuality is a M202 flash rocket launcher, which is pretty much an anti-tank rocket launcher. And what's cool about this is that it actually does have removable rockets. So that's pretty cool. And I was worried because I saw some reviews of this figure by other reviewers. And when those reviewers got to the rocket launcher, this is how the rocket launcher would look. And the rockets themselves are deep within the recesses of the barrels. And I was surprised because one of the rockets just slid out of the barrel. And I just said, oh, I didn't know that they could be removed. And apparently they can. And it was confusing me because one of the prototype images showed Leon holding the rocket launcher. And you can see one of the rockets in the barrel like that. And when I saw the reviews of people that reviewed this figure, they pulled out the rocket launcher and it looked like this, with no rockets. And I was like, why did they take the rockets away? You know, that looked pretty cool. And lo and behold, they didn't take them away. They're there. You just gotta shake them out. And they did a really good job with the work of what the rocket launcher is supposed to look like in the game, because this is what it looked like. And as for the articulation, you can pull the sights out. So you can have Leon looking through the sights. It folds back and forth. And the exhaust ports, you can pull them out if I could do it with one hand. So yeah, you can have this slung around Leon's shoulder and it'll be looking really good. And spoiler alert, this rocket launcher is the one that Ada gives to Leon to kill Mr. X with. And that's how he finally kills him. And it also has this little handle on the back, which does swivel. And when it comes out of the box, it doesn't have this strap on it. You have to hook it up. So yeah, that's really cool. Moving on from there, we get all the keys that Leon uses. And we also get the one key that Leon doesn't use also. So starting off, we get the blue spade key. And then we get the red heart key. And I'm kind of puzzled why they gave this figure the red heart key, because Leon never uses it in the game, like at all. So I'm scratching my head trying to figure out why they gave it to us. I don't know how to take it, if this is a good or a bad thing, because Claire is the one that uses this key. So it makes me think of two possible scenarios. One is that they won't make Claire, and two is that they will make Claire but not give her the heart key. So I'm just speculating here, take that as you will. I'm really hoping that they do make Claire. That would be awesome, but I'll elaborate more on that at the end of this review. So moving on to the next key, we get the green club key. And Leon is the one that uses this key. Claire can't use this key. And they're all sculpted and painted very nice. And finally, we get the pink diamond key, but it doesn't really look pink here. Moving on, we get the regular combat knife. This is one of two knives that this figure comes with, and both of them you can stick into the sheath on Leon's belt. So this knife is the regular one. He gets it after meeting Marvin Branagh for the first time, and Marvin just gives it to him. These knives are breakable the more you use them, so you have to find them throughout the game. So you get that knife, and you also get this other knife, the indestructible knife, or infinite knife, as a lot of players like to call it. This knife you can only unlock after breaking all of the Mr. Raccoon toys throughout the game, either by shooting them or slashing them. This one can also fit into the sheath. Moving on, we get the flashbang grenade. In the game, they call it a flash grenade, but in actuality, it's a M84 stun grenade. And it's really cool. You can see these pins that are movable. That's pretty cool. But the common issue with these grenades that I've seen other reviewers is that the label keeps peeling off, even taking it straight out of the box. So I had to get a little dab of super glue and just glue it back on to prevent it from peeling any further. Now, it wasn't too bad, but I had to fix it. And now it looks better than ever. Moving on, we also get the hand grenade, which is what it was called in the game. In actuality, this is a M26 fragmentation grenade. It's also commonly known as frag grenade. I really like what they did with this because they put the weathering on the bottom. It's all scratched up. And you'd be using these a lot in the game whenever you would find one. Me personally, I'd be using it defensively, especially with bosses. So it's pretty cool that it comes with both those grenades, and both of the grenades you can attach to his belt. And then we also get the first aid spray. And it's pretty much just basic. It's painted very well and molded very well. Nothing too much to say about it. You can read the label. Moving on, we get his Maglite flashlight. And Leon would use this a lot whenever he would enter dark areas. That goes without say for all of us who are familiar with the game. And it's pretty cool. It's definitely a Maglite, given the large size of it. If you were to compare this flashlight to the Hot Toys T1000 flashlight, or the Hot Toys John Blake flashlight, you would see that this light is definitely larger than those. And it is accurate because that's the kind of flashlight that Leon was using during the game. And then we get all of his ammo boxes. Now this box here, in particular, it didn't come with the figure. This is for the Desert Eagle or Lightning Hawk. They're 50 caliber rounds. And it's really cool. You can read all of the writing even though it's very tiny. They still form words and sentences, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that box is for the Desert Eagle. And this box is for his Matilda handgun or his LE5 submachine gun. And then we also get the 45 caliber bullets. And those are meant for his M19 handgun. And we also get a box of shotgun shells for his basic shotgun and his fully upgraded shotgun. Moving on, we also get this backdrop. And it's okay. I do like the image that they chose. It's a picture of the front of the Raccoon City police station. It's pretty cool, but the image itself is pretty fuzzy. It's not high definition. It's pretty much the same quality as with any Hot Toys figure that comes with a backdrop. It's all fuzzy. It's not that great. That's why I say it's okay, because I didn't know. This is one of the things that I didn't know would come with the figure. I didn't think we'd be getting a backdrop at all. Moving on from that, we also get his display base with his nameplate on there. Leon S. Kennedy. This is another thing, another accessory that I didn't think the figure would come with. I didn't think we'd get a stand at all. That's not to say that Damtoys is a third-party company, because they're not. They are very well versed in making figures. So, I don't know, I just figured that we wouldn't get a base. I'm just very glad that we got a base at all. And we got a backdrop. So, moving on to the disappointing thing of this figure. We only get 4 hands in total. So we get this open hand, which is meant to cradle his rocket launcher or hold his handgun with 2 hands. We also get this hand, which is meant to hold his flashlight. And we get another hand, which is meant for cradling either of his 2 shotguns. And we get one right hand for holding any of his weapons, basically. Come on, Damtoys, really? You couldn't have included more hands. We really only get one right hand. Just one. Come on, guys. You could have done better than that. I know you could have. But that's not to say that the quality of the hands is bad. It's really good, actually. You can see a little bit of weathering on the gloves, so they're painted really good. But yeah, we definitely could have used more hands. Anyway, I think that covers all the accessories. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I think I would go so far as to say that this figure is a deluxe figure, because it comes with a boatload of stuff. The only thing I wish this figure would have come with is, like I mentioned before, more hands. I think that's a necessity. We definitely should have got more hands. And just as an added bonus, we could have gotten the chemical flamethrower that Leon uses to take care of the plant zombies. I don't remember what they're called. I I usually just call them plant zombies. But yeah, that would have been nice to have. So for the overall score of the accessories, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because of the issue of there not being enough hands. We could have used more. So there you go, guys. So I'm going to put them in one more pose and add up the score and wrap up this review. Okay, so to add up the score and wrap up this review, guys, this figure gets a 54 out of 60. And that's a really high score. Now, this figure was highly anticipated by me. I was really looking forward to it. I'm a big Resident Evil fan, so I was really excited when I found out they were making this figure. And I really like the remake, so this figure was a hands down must-own figure for me. And if you guys are a fan of Resident Evil in any shape or form, even if it's just casual, I still highly recommend picking up this figure. Because we want Damtoys to continue this line. So if this figure doesn't sell so well, I don't know if Damtoys is going to continue making the rest of the characters from this game. So you guys show your support for this line. Show them how much you love the Resident Evil 2 remake. And I'm pretty sure they'll keep pumping out the rest of the figures. So the lowest point that this figure got in all of the categories was an 8, and that was for the articulation. But that's not a very low score at all. This figure never got below an 8 on any category. So like I said, pick this figure up if you like Resident Evil at all. Alright guys, so that's another review done and in the bag. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And don't forget to ring the bell icon to get notifications of my latest videos. But until next time guys, I shall catch you all later on the tube. Alright, bye guys.